According to BitBoy, he just found out who the creator of Shiba Inu was. He explained that the beginnings of Shiba Inu were disorganized and can be found in Karma DAO, where FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, co-CEO of FTX Ryan Salami, Neema Jahan, and also Andrew Lee, the founder of Karma DAO, were gathered, among others. Armstrong first showed a deleted tweet from Lee in which he admitted to knowing the founder of Shiba Inu. In another deleted tweet from Lee, the influencer also finds proof that SHIB got its start in the Karma DAO group in the summer of 2020. Let's begin the video. Also striking to Armstrong is that Serum, SRM, began in the Karma DAO group. On July 28, 2020, SBF presented on Serum at the Karma DAO to pitch the project. As is well known, Serum was one of SBF's pump tokens. Thus, BitBoy has the supposed proof that the SHIB founder must come from the above circle. However, the influencer received the final evidence from another YouTuber. This unknown YouTuber told him that Neema Jahan contacted him after the launch of Shiba Inu. Jahan allegedly asked the YouTuber to delete all videos related to unification. This led BitBoy Crypto to believe that Jahan is the founder of Shiba Inu because Unification is the company building the Layer 2 network of the Shiba Inu ecosystem, Shibarium. BitBoy Crypto also presented further evidence to support his claim. Among other things, he presented messages from the Karma DAO group showing that Jahan was involved in the transaction of the legendary SHIB donation to Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin. In the screenshot, a Karma DAO member named Community Organizer coincidentally, the ticker symbol of Unification Fund, launches a request to send a press release about Buterin. Further screenshots from the Karma DAO group leaked by a supposed member also show the centrality of Community Organizer Fund to Shiba Inu and the SHIB transaction to Buterin. For Armstrong, this is the final proof that Neema Jahan, aka Community Organizer Fund, aka Ryoshi, is the Shiba Inu founder. In a Twitter thread, Jahan contradicts Armstrong's claims. Hello guys, since a YouTube journalist decided to take anecdotal information from the internet and do this again, let me do this again as well, Jahan writes. He confesses that he founded Unification Fund, but has not been in a leadership role for some time. However, he says he still contributes to supporting the team and the platform. Regarding BitBoy's theory, he writes, in 2021, there were unresearched articles about me saying that I was the founder/big whale of a famous coin. These are untrue, and most were removed. Also, recently there have been unresearched rumors saying that I worked with SBF. This is untrue. I have been in the same room as SBF precisely twice, and one time exchanged a hello with him. Zero association in business or otherwise. Now it is up to the SHIB community to decide who they believe more. The SHIB price stood at $0.00001092, up 4.9% in the last 24 hours. Shiba Inu price, like other cryptocurrencies, has been following the broader market cues for the last couple of days. The strong bearish trend kept the altcoin from recovering the losses it witnessed over the last month, but the changing winds might enable SHIB to achieve that going forward. Shiba Inu price noted a 3.61% increase in value from weekly lows, trading at $0.00001090 to counter a decline noted 48 hours ago. Traders that have been patiently waiting for an opportunity to long the altcoin might be in luck if SHIB manages to climb above the critical resistance at $0.00001189. The parabolic stop and reverse SAR has been highlighting an active downtrend for the last month. The presence of the blue dots of the indicator above the candlestick has been evidence of the same. However, going forward, this downtrend might be coming to an end, and the indicator might shift its position to indicate an active uptrend. This is because the bearish cues have been weakening, which is visible on the average directional index, or ADX. The slip of the indicator below the threshold at 25 shows that the active trend is losing strength. Thus, if SHIB is in an uptrend, the next time the indicator crosses above the threshold again, a price rise might be on the cards. Although, in order to establish a sustainable rise, the Shiba Inu price would have to flip the critical resistance at $0.00001189 into a support floor. This would allow SHIB to climb back to $0.00001395 and mark a 27% rally. Breaching this level would also open the opportunity for the meme coin to establish new year-to-date highs around $0.0001477. However, the Shiba Inu price is not too far away from critical support either. If the altcoin slips below this level at $0.000000966, it will invalidate the bullish thesis. Furthermore, the meme coin would become vulnerable to a fall to December 2022 lows around $0.0000769. Avarak AI is a cutting-edge AI crypto project revolutionizing AI development and deployment. By integrating blockchain technology, Avarak AI provides a secure and transparent platform for developers to collaborate and build AI models in a decentralized manner. The Avarak platform is scalable and can handle large-scale AI projects, with multiple developers working on the same project. The platform has already passed the CyberScope audit, a clear indication that the platform is transparent and secure. Avarak AI's compatibility with blockchains and traditional cloud providers makes it highly versatile and flexible. As such, developers can seamlessly integrate Avarak AI into their existing workflows without compromising their preferred tools and platforms. Avarak is already eliciting positive discussions on YouTube and Twitter as Dr_100X and Crypto Labs explain why AVRK is a must-have token in your portfolio. To fund the development of its platform and build a strong community around its project, Avarak AI has launched an initial coin offering ICO. The ICO allows investors to buy AVRK tokens, which can be used for various purposes on the Avarak AI platform. As the ICO shines in its phase 2, the price of the AVRK token stands at $0.105 and will increase in the next phases. The project allows early investors to enjoy yields of up to 9% in bonuses. The cryptocurrency investor who purchased Shiba Inu during its initial days revealed that he deeply regrets selling the token early. The investor had purchased $2,000 worth of SHIB in January 2021, a few weeks before it started to rally. SHIB was trading at $0.000000000777295 at the time. But little did the investor know that the token would quickly delete 6 zeros within 10 months. An investment of $2,000 allowed the user to accumulate 25 trillion tokens in January 2021. The investor revealed that when SHIB dropped prices the next few days after his purchase, he panicked and sold all the tokens for a loss. Call it misfortune or bad decision. The 25 trillion tokens would have been worth $1 billion in the same year in October 2021. SHIB reached its all-time high of $0.0008616 after 10 months of him dumping trillions of tokens. It spiked 67 million%, and the $2,000 would have ballooned to $1 billion. The investor gave his reaction in a TikTok video in October 2021 after seeing the token reach its all-time high. I just got a message from a couple of mates, and they told me that Shiba Inu has gone up 67 million% since January. In January 2021, I was browsing Twitter and came across a recommendation for buying meme currencies. One of them was SHIB. At that time, I put $2,000 into it and left it for 2 weeks. It went down, and I sold it for a loss. He added, "It turns out that would now be worth $1 billion if I hadn't sold it." The investor ended the video by saying, "Now, how to live with that." That's a wrap for today. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up, share, and subscribe to the channel to see our latest content.
The market is still in the process of recovery today. Shiba Inu's price just slightly rebounded. However, zooming out, it's still looking gloomy. But there's something you should know about. And this is big. It just dropped massively. Around 3.5 trillion Shiba Inu is being questioned. The crazy part? Satoshi Kusama and other devs are nowhere to be found. What is happening? What on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Today wasn't too bad for Shiba Inu. In the last 24 hours, it managed to bounce back a bit, climbing into the green. A nice little recovery. But if you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, like the past week, things aren't as pretty. Shiba Inu is still down about 16%, so it's not exactly out of the woods yet. The mood? Kind of uncertain. Retail investors are in this weird phase where they're trying to decide their next move. Should they buy more, hold tight, or just walk away? That's the big question. No one really knows if Shiba Inu will keep sliding or if this recent dip is finally over. But one thing's for sure, people are still talking about it. The community is watching closely, waiting for that next big shift. But you might be wondering, what's really going on? What's behind this price movement? Well, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Shiba Inu isn't the only one going through this. Bitcoin is moving in a similar way. It tried to hold its ground around 99,000, but couldn't keep up and slipped all the way down to 95,000. Right now, it's hovering around 96,000, still struggling to find its footing. And since Bitcoin sets the tone for the entire market, it's no surprise that Shiba Inu and other cryptos are reacting. When Bitcoin stumbles, everything else tends to follow. And the reason behind all of this? None other than Donald Trump. At least that's what some analysts are saying. Traders are getting nervous about what they call Trump dumps, a term floating around as the crypto market sold off ahead of the latest US jobs data on February 7th. The entire market took a hit, with the total crypto market cap dropping over 2.5% to around $3 trillion. Now, crypto is always volatile, but this time there are some real factors at play. First, liquidations across the market have been dragging prices down. Then, there's the risk-off mood. Investors don't like uncertainty, and with the US jobs report coming up, they're playing it safe. On top of that, market technicals are looking weak, signaling that prices could dip even further. The jobs data coming out on February 7th is a big deal. Traders are waiting to see numbers on job openings, unemployment rates, and wage growth, all of which could impact how the Federal Reserve handles interest rates. But here's what's interesting. With all these crazy price drops lately, Shiba Inu has actually slipped down in the crypto rankings. It used to be comfortably sitting in the top 10, but now, it's fallen all the way down to around the top 20. That's a huge drop, way lower than most people expected. The Shiba Inu community is used to seeing Shiba Inu as the king of meme coins, leading the charge. But right now, it doesn't look like that's the case. Other meme coins have been holding up better, and Shiba Inu's ranking just keeps slipping. It's a weird shift because, for so long, Shiba Inu was one of those unstoppable names in the space. The big question now is, can it climb back up? Or is this just the new reality for Shiba Inu? The market is shaky, and investors are still figuring out what to do next. One thing's for sure, though. People are paying attention. And here's the crazy part. Despite this massive drop in rankings, the Shiba Inu devs are nowhere to be found. No big reactions, no major updates, just silence. It's almost unsettling. You'd think that after such a huge fall, the team would step in, reassure the community, maybe roll out some kind of strategy to get things back on track. But lately, nothing. Just a few scattered updates here and there. Nothing significant. And that silence? It's making people panic. Investors are starting to ask the big questions. Where are the devs? Are they even paying attention? Do they care about what's happening? Or are they just letting Shiba Inu fade into the background? This should be a wake-up call. A moment where the team steps in and takes action. But instead, it feels like radio silence. And then there's the biggest theory floating around. What about Satoshi? Is he still focused on Shiba Inu? Or is he putting all his energy into his own meme coin? Shy. A lot of people are starting to feel like he's shifted priorities, leaving Shiba Inu behind while he pushes his new project. And honestly, that's making things even worse. If the lead developer isn't fully committed, what does that mean for Shiba Inu's future? Right now, it's all just speculation. But that's exactly the problem. When there's no transparency, no clear direction, people start assuming the worst. The community is getting restless, wondering if this is the beginning of the end. And with Shiba Inu's ranking slipping, its price struggling, and its leadership staying quiet, it's not hard to see why investors are getting nervous. They want answers. They want action. And most of all, they want to know if Shiba Inu still has a future, or if it's slowly being abandoned. But wait, something massive just happened, and it makes this whole situation even crazier. There's something you should know, and honestly, it might shock you. So, it has been reported that the Fear and Greed Index just dropped into the fear zone. A recent tweet revealed that the index is sitting at 35, which means deep fear is taking over the market. That's a big deal because this index measures overall investor sentiment. When it's high, people are greedy, buying like crazy. When it's low, like now, fear is in control, and many traders start panic selling. Here's the shocking part. Even though Shiba Inu has been crashing lately, big money players, the whales, are still loading up. They're not backing down. In fact, They're buying even more, even as the price keeps dipping. Shiba Inu's price dropped again, yet whales have scooped up a massive 6.33 trillion tokens so far in 2024. And just in February alone, they grabbed 840 billion more. Right now, these huge holders, those with between 10 trillion and 100 trillion Shiba Inu, are sitting on a staggering 161 trillion tokens. That's a mind-blowing amount. And not only that, something even crazier just happened. Shiba Inu's net flow just exploded, skyrocketing by a mind-blowing 5,200%. That's not just a little uptick, that's a massive shift. This net flow basically tracks how whales and big holders are moving their Shiba Inu, and right now, it's showing that they're making big moves. After days of pretty much nothing happening, whale net flows suddenly jumped from around 128 billion Shiba Inu to a staggering 3.5 trillion Shiba Inu on February 7th. That's a huge spike, and when this kind of thing happens, it usually means one thing: whales are loading up. If this trend keeps up, it could be a really positive sign for Shiba Inu's future. And get this, alongside that surge, large holder inflows also shot up, with 3.8 trillion Shiba Inu being scooped up in just the last 24 hours. That's an 892% increase for the week. Meanwhile, large holder outflows have actually dropped, which suggests that these whales aren't just making random moves. They're being deliberate, stacking up Shiba Inu instead of selling off. So what does all of this mean? What's really happening here? Why are whales loading up on massive amounts of Shiba Inu while everyone else is too scared to buy? What do they see that the average investor doesn't? Is there some insider knowledge floating around? Some big event that hasn't been revealed yet? Whales don't just throw money around for no reason. When they move like this, accumulating billions, even trillions of tokens, it's usually because they're expecting something big. And here's where things get even more interesting. The Shiba Inu devs have been unusually quiet. No major announcements, no big updates, just silence. Now, that could mean a lot of things, but one possibility is that they're preparing for something huge. Maybe they're about to drop a major partnership. Maybe a new technology is in the works. Something that could change the game for Shiba Inu. Or, dare we say it, maybe this is the calm before the storm, the start of the massive bull run we've all been waiting for. Think about it. Every time the market is at its most fearful, when people start losing faith, that's often when the biggest comebacks happen. We've seen it before. Shiba Inu has had its fair share of ups and downs, but somehow, it always finds a way to surprise us. Could this be another one of those moments? Could this be the setup before Shiba Inu skyrockets again? For so long, Shiba Inu holders have been holding on, trying to recover from past losses. Could this finally be the moment? Could this be the turning point where Shiba Inu reclaims its place in the rankings and proves the doubters wrong? Of course, right now, it's all just speculation. But one thing we can't ignore is that the energy is shifting. This kind of whale activity isn't normal, and when the big players start making moves, it usually means something's brewing. Whether it's a major development behind the scenes, a big money play, or just a wave of renewed hype, one thing's for sure: Shiba Inu isn't done yet. And for the community, that alone is enough to bring back hope. Because if history has taught us anything, it's that Shiba Inu always finds a way to surprise us. So maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't stress too much about what's happening right now. This could just be a temporary hurdle before something bigger unfolds. And honestly, that's exactly what Lucy, a well-known figure in the Shiba Inu community, just hinted at in her latest tweet today. She kept it simple. No stress. What's meant to be will be. Just stack wisely and let it play out. That right there says a lot. She's basically reminding everyone to stay calm, think long-term, and not let short-term price swings shake them. The market moves in cycles. Sometimes it crashes hard, sometimes it pumps like crazy. But those who stay patient and make smart moves are the ones who come out on top. And looking at everything that's happening, whales accumulating, net flows spiking, and the devs staying quiet, it really does feel like something bigger is coming. Maybe this dip is just a test, shaking out the weak hands before the real move happens. Maybe this is one of those moments where, months from now, people look back and say, that was the perfect time to buy. Of course, no one can predict the future, but one thing's clear. The Shiba Inu story isn't over. Far from it. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Shiba Inu update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.